Fear stops us from achieving our true greatness. Are you a professional woman who is feeling stuck, unmotivated, or burned out? Are you worried about your wellness? Are you letting fear stop you from crushing your goals? If you answered yes to any or all of these, then this is the podcast for you. Dr. Charmaine Gregory, night shift emergency physician, burnout thriver, and wellness champion, along with everyday heroes just like you, will explore how to face fear in our lives and emerge victoriously.
Hey, thanks for checking out this episode. Be sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified when the next video comes out. It only takes 2 seconds to make 2 clicks. So let's do it. Let's get back to the video. Hello, Film family. I am super excited. Oh my gosh, I am very excited today because guess what? We have someone, a colleague of mine, who actually went through the podcasting course, and not only has she had great success, but well, you know what? I'm gonna let her tell you all about that because there's so much to unpack there. There's so much stuff that's really, really, really cool. So Dr. Williams is gonna tell us all about who she is, what she's up to right now, and all of the awesomeness that she's like putting forth into the world.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gregory. This has been a full circle moment for sure. I remember when I started in your podcasting course, I hadn't even taken my mic out of the box. So this is kind of surreal to be here talking to you on your podcast. But yeah, I, am board certified in family medicine. So I've been in family medicine since I started residency 18 years ago, which is hard to even say. But I worked in outpatient family medicine for those 18 years. Of course, you do the training stuff first, but for at least the last 15 years, I worked outpatient family medicine. And a year ago during the pandemic, when everybody's life was forever changed for sure, I came across your course, and I had been watching you for a couple years. I think before that, I heard you on a couple podcasts and really felt the pull to do a podcast, but really didn't know how to get started. And I tend to suffer with procrastination. So I decided that I would jump in, fully into the podcasting world by having you show me the ropes. And so I decided to sign up, and I'm so glad I did. Within a few weeks, you promised we would have 5 episodes, and I really didn't believe I'd be able to pull that off. But I'm proud to say I was the first one to finish the 5,
yes, you were.
Which was awesome. Unreal. And so
awesome.
Coming from an introverted world, I put myself out there and just fell in love with it. I, as you have experienced, COVID kind of took us all on a roller coaster for a while there. And so while I was building the podcast and starting that up, the world was rapidly changing with COVID. So I was working and trying to do that. And I found that it really gave me this release, this form of, just having that extra thing I could do that really filled my cup a little bit. And so,
awesome.
And so, yeah, so I ended up doing that. And then the rest is history. I completed a full year of Pivot and Bloom this past April June. And I, for various reasons, I ended up leaving my job so that I could pursue wellness coaching full time, and also now working for a weight loss company doing consultations virtually. So still doing a little bit of clinical work, but also, into the entrepreneurship world.
Oh my goodness. That's so cool. Love it. And then so Pivot and Bloom, like killed it with Pivot and Bloom. It was amazing. So I know that you have something else up your sleeves. Is that true? Is there something else up your sleeve?
Yes. So Pivot and Bloom, there's always something up my sleeve, even though I'm sleeveless today, but Pivot and Bloom is now becoming somewhat of an umbrella. Pivot and Bloom Wellness Collective.
Nice.
And so it has become the structure for my full business. So I am launching into the coaching world, doing wellness, what I call wellness transformation coaching. So including some wellness, helping people develop a wellness plan, but also helping them walk that out and learn all of the aspects of spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and relational wellness, along with a very specific nutritional shift in there. So I have a program coming out in August to do that. So it's a comprehensive program. And I'm also shifting the podcast along with this purpose work to align with my coaching program. So my new podcast, or which it will be on the Pivot and Bloom platform, is shifting over to the Single Well, which is for single women and moms in the Christian faith that want to have a wellness plan and walk that out with God by their side.
Nice. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so exciting. That is so exciting. So that, it's so interesting how, we can have one idea, and, if we just take a chance on that one idea, how it can just blossom into so many more items underneath that one idea that are going to benefit the people that we serve. And so, it is just so amazing to hear that. And so you have to let the audience know, like, was there any fear involved in any of this? Like, was there fear in starting a podcast? Was there fear in stepping away from the bedside and doing your own thing? Was there fear in starting the second podcast? Like, was there fear in any of this?
Oh, there's fear all through it. Fear is the theme. But, I really thought that I would never leave medicine. I thought that was it. Who does that? We're working in one of the most lucrative paid positions, in the country. Of course, there's more people that make way more than doctors, but we won't talk about that. But we do have one of those positions that's considered to be like, you're set, you're a doctor, you have a good income coming in, why would you want to leave? And I had those same feelings. I was scared about, especially going into entrepreneurship. I work part-time. So when we shift to part-time work or contracted work, we don't have benefits usually. So having a small child, I was like, oh, how's this going to go? Is this going to like ruin me? Am I going to lose my skills? There's a million questions that come up. But at the end of the day, I knew specifically what my purpose was. And that foundation, of medicine formed my purpose and helped me to build my purpose. But at the end of the day, I had to kind of leap to get to that full purpose. So I've envisioned it like two big cliffs, and jumping from one to the other. So entrepreneurship is definitely not for the faint of heart, but there's a lot that we learn in medicine that helps us to get there. And so there was definitely fear in changing the podcast. I was coached on that to, say, okay, you want to align this more with what you're doing. You're doing wellness coaching. You want to align your podcast to be a kind of a funnel or a launching pad for your business. And it was hard because I have grown to love Pivot and Bloom. Pivot and Bloom is like my second child. So that was why I gave Pivot and Bloom a promotion and made it the company. And then Single Well is under that umbrella. So definitely some fear in that, fear of losing people that were listening, fear of isolating or, ousting people that may have been listening that aren't single women or moms, but there's still things there for everybody. And I figured out that, I can't help everybody, even though I'd like to try, but at the same time, people will kind of get what they want from you as far as those platforms. So, there might be men that still listen to the Single Well podcast because they just get so much from it. So, yeah, I love that.
It's funny how that works out because, you create something and you're like, oh, it's for this particular audience. And then, it is for that audience, but there are other people who will be interested in learning, right? So maybe there's somebody maybe there are men out there who are going to want to understand what women are going through and, the things that they need. Because maybe they want to eventually court somebody who is single, you know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So that is, that's pretty incredible, because that tells you that those individuals are taking it a step up. They're raising the bar because they want to understand and learn more. So, wow, no, that's cool. And so then, So then now what are some future steps that you're looking towards? Like what's the next so you're gonna when first of all, did you already launch the new podcast or is that in process?
It's in the process. I'm doing the
Okay.
recordings this week and trying to batch like you so adeptly taught me, and trying to
Yes.
get those things
Time
done so
savers.
that I'm not spending all my time doing that. So that's what I'm doing this week, is doing the intros and outros. And I mean, I seriously thank you, because had it not been for you, this would be a very daunting task, but it's something that is, another podcast. It's fine.
No big
I had a
deal,
great
right?
coach.
Just
So
add that to
yeah,
the
so I'm in the process of recording it. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. 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 So I'm very encouraged to hear that because
Thank you.
you know what I mean? You
You're welcome.
like you share information, but you just never know, like,
Don't know how far
so
it goes,
it's
right?
so encouraging to hear that that what we shared together was
Mm-hmm.
something that was beneficial to you. So
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
And then is this the final leg, or are you going to be incorporating the podcast in your daily coaching practice? Like, how are
Mhm.
you going to utilize it beyond just having it available to the public? Or or do you have a plan for that?
Initially, it will align more so where there will be a lot of just general information, because it's more of a launching pad, like I mentioned. So it'll be more so like, this is what I'm doing, this is what the single well is about, and so forth.
Okay.
But eventually, I hope to leverage what I'm doing, and have everything kind of feed into each other, so that we can, kind of reuse some of that content that I'm creating.
Nice.
But yeah, I do plan on having it be that. But what I really want to do, my dream right now, is to build a membership of sorts for with
Yes.
different layers of content, and
Nice.
kind of go from there.
No, nice, nice, nice. No, that's perfect. That is perfect. Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's pretty
Oh
amazing.
my.
So yeah.
And then this happened. Hey, it's Dr. G, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank you for listening to this episode. I'm so honored to have you here with me. Did you know that I can help you to get your own podcast started? With my podcasting launch course for professionals, I walk you through everything you need to know about starting a podcast. I'm with you every step of the way, from sign up to launching your show, with 5 episodes ready to go. There's a done for you version that's also available. If you would just rather just do recordings and leave the behind the scenes work up to us, then that one is definitely for you. But either way, we've got your back here at Fearless Freedom with Dr. G. Oh, if you already have a show and you need production services, we have monthly plans available for you. So check out the links in the episode show notes for more information. Let's get back to the show. I hear your cherub. He sounds so cute. Tell him that I love his faces that he made on the what was he do? What did he do? He had your phone or something. He was in the back of the car. He had your phone, and he like was making a whole bunch of faces on there.
Yes, of course.
So cute. I was like, oh my God, it's so
course.
cute.
Of course.
You could tell he's full of personality, He
Oh my
like
gosh.
it's just like
Yeah.
oozing out of every pore. It's just like...
Since he was tiny, I mean, it's amazing. The faces he even made as a baby were like, oh my gosh, this kid, I don't know. So yeah.
No, that was really neat. I was like, oh my God, it's such an adorable post. I love it. And then I
you.
love how you took that and you're like, and then you turned it into like a little coaching session. That was really neat.
Yeah.
I was like, way to go. Way to take
Thank
life
you.
and like flip it, like,
Thank you.
hey, let me show you how to do this. No, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. All right, cool. Oh my goodness. And then, so are you, do you have, now here's a question that people want to know. So we know, Single Well and Pivot and Bloom, people are going to know how to find that, right? So they could just go to any podcasting platform and basically find it. Now, how would they find you? do you have a website now specifically for the coaching, or is it just Dr. Myla or Dr. Williams, or like do you have some landing spot for them to
Yeah.
find you?
So what I did was created an email for now for the single well, because it's going to be a small launch. If it's large, then it's large. But I'm going to have people email. I usually have people email me at the single well, just spelled out, at gmail.com to get more information. Okay. And then we do an initial like meet and greet and talk about their needs and see if the program is right for them. And sometimes if it's not, there's other things I can offer or we can discuss at the time. But it just kind of helps me to see where they are. And then eventually I will have a landing page and different things like that. But right now it's pretty simple.
Nice. You know what? That's probably a great and genius idea. Let's keep it super simple, because what ultimately ends up happening is you can scale up from simple, right? You make it super complicated. It's hard. It's hard to like maneuver and manage and all that stuff. Cool. All right. Awesome. And then, so they can reach you by the email. And are they gonna be, are you having any kind of like, lives or any kind of things associated with the launch? Or is there anything people can kind of look for on your social related to the launch?
Yeah, my social, I am Mila Marie on Facebook and at Kamilah Marie MD on Instagram. And most of my posts and things go there. That's where I go live and talk about the program and post my posts that you mentioned, where I tie in my life to the programming and the things that I teach. But that's where I will be doing the launch, leaving the launch material. I do plan on doing a special workshop or challenge towards that final week before the start of the program. So probably somewhere around mid-August, look for that. And I will start building up to that soon, but it's still in the works. But yeah, we will have something special for everybody to kind of look forward to there.
And just so that they are clear on the spelling, you want to spell Mila Marie so they can know for sure, in case they're not.
Oh, sure.
In case they're listening and they're not like somewhere where they can, look at the show notes.
Yeah. No, right. Yeah. Mila Marie is MILAHMARIE.
Awesome. Awesome. Yay. All right. No, that's going to be cool. So great.
Yeah,
and you. Then, so there has to be, no, it's just really cool to see, like, something about like seeing, each other like excel that is so encouraging. It's like almost like it's something that is not we don't celebrate it enough. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of times, particularly women, I found, like there's always like this thing where you feel like, oh, there's only room for like one of us in this thing. Like, so let's not encourage each other. It's like, really, it's such a fallacy, because the thing about it is like, if we promote each other, we certainly can achieve a lot more, right? Because we are tapping into each other's networks. Whereas, before you're only really tapping into one person's network. And so, yeah. So no, it's just super exciting to see you just like, launch into the stratosphere. So awesome.
Yeah, you as well. I mean, I feel like I know so many people that I don't really know in person. I mean, but they've become friends and colleagues, and, I can ask them questions, and I found so many wonderful coaches and people that are already doing this stuff that have helped me in tremendous ways. And so it's just been really cool. And like you said, with women, that's kind of unheard of. So it's an amazing positive effect of the virus, where a lot of these events would have been in person. And because everything's on Zoom, my network has absolutely exploded. So, and you have been part of that. You always shout me out on your podcast, on your content. So I'm really appreciative of that too. But yeah, it's just great.
My pleasure. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, there definitely been, it's funny, we were talking about this actually the other day, because, as for EM, for primary care, you definitely you were essentially on the front line of seeing patients who are affected by the virus. And, it was rough. It's actually still pretty rough for a lot of people in a lot of places. And, it's very easy to focus on all of the negative things that came about from this pandemic, but there really have been a lot of positive that have also come out of this. And so, it's like looking at that and seeing how did you take that time? Like, what did you do at that time? At the very beginning, when things were crazy, there were a lot of people that were coming out and they were saying, you know what, you want to make sure that when you look back in a year's time at the time that the time that you had where you were, in lockdown or whatever, that you did something or that you worked on something, that you are a better person than when you entered the pandemic, because you don't want to look back and be like, oh my gosh, I just kind of like let it go by me and you didn't do anything, because that's not, I mean, I get it if there's, and I'm not talking about people who, suffered from mental illness as a consequence of this. That's not what I'm talking about, but I'm just talking about like people like us, like people who had the wherewithal to do something, whether it was read more or whether it was learn a new skill or, whatever it was, just doing something to kind of take your mind off of what the disaster that's happening around and actually working on something that's going to help you to be a better person at the end. And clearly you did that. And as a result, you're seeing the fruit of your labor during that time now, and you're able to have the tools to help a lot of people, which I think is absolutely amazing, because now you are making impact on a completely different population of people than what you had when you were in clinical practice. And probably you wouldn't have stepped out. I mean, I don't know, maybe you would have, but like, I think unlikely that you would have, number one, started a podcast, number two, got involved in entrepreneurship, had that pivot point, like I use that, had that pivot point not occurred,
Yeah.
So it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I think back on that time and, I just remember sitting there and thinking, I mean, actually, when I saw your ad for your podcasting course, I was like sitting there and realizing the time that I had. And I'm so glad I did at the moment, because it was easy to let that year or more pass by. And at the time I dreamt of leaving, but I was not going to leave. And so to not even a year later put in my resignation was like amazing. Like the fact that I was able to do that with fear in place, but able to do that, and then just step into it. It was amazing. I was able to see things that I couldn't see before. I was able to see that I could speak out and I could use my voice and that I could do speaking engagements and, share information with people and then get the courage to coach and help other people. So it was fantastic. I mean, we were all, as doctors, we help a lot of people, but there's just something different about branching out and doing it in a more meaningful way to you personally. So absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Yay. Oh, that's so, oh my gosh. I'm like getting like the chills, like the warm fuzzies and the chills from listening to you talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So here's the deal now. So amazing things are happening in 2021, and even more amazing things are going to be happening in 2022, coming from the Pivot in Blue platform, coming from your coaching. And so I definitely think that you need to come back on the show, probably in a year's time, and let us know all of the awesome stuff that's going on and probably what new stuff you have coming on that time too. Because I know you will have even more things added to your repertoire. So, this show has a tradition that we do the show, and it's basically a fill in the blanks. Are you ready for fill in the blanks?
Absolutely.
Yay. Okay. So the first one is, if I am fearless, I will.
If I am fearless, I will fill my own cup first.
Nice. The next one is, to me, fearless freedom means.
To me, fearless freedom means fully stepping into my purpose and grasping on to the courage to do bigger things than I could ever imagine.
Love it. Love it. And then your last question is, my battle cry is?
My battle cry really is do it afraid. That's it. Do it afraid.
Nice. Awesome. Awesome. Oh my goodness. So I didn't tell you guys this, but like, so obviously there's a time difference between, Michigan, Ohio, and Guam. And so Dr. Mila had agreed to do this interview, and I agreed too, right? We both agreed. And I usually get up at 5:30 a.m. to get interviews done and get everything settled before the day begins. And I got up at 5:30 a.m. this morning, but then I went back to sleep and I overslept. And when I woke up to a start, it was 6:05. We were supposed to already be doing the interview. So I appreciate her for not like totally ditching me and being like, oh my God, where is she at? So I thank you. And I apologize to you for, encroaching upon your time by being tardy, but I really, truly appreciate that you stuck with me and
no worries.
did the interview anyway.
Yeah, no worries. I get it. I mean, that happens to me all the time. So I totally get it.
Oh my gosh. No, so awesome. So thank you for taking time out of your busy day. And thank you for sharing your awesomeness with the Fearless Freedom Tribe. I was encouraged by this interview. I hope that every last one of you in the tribe are also encouraged, because there is going to be even more amazing content and offerings coming from Dr. Mila, and just look out for it. Awesome. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Fearless Freedom with Dr. G. Again, I'm Dr. G. And if you like this episode, be sure to subscribe so that you can get notified of when the next episode is going to be. And also, I'll catch you next time. Have a great one. Be strong, be brave, and unleash your greatness.